Hello everyone, it's Steamboy27. Today we're doing some post-commentary because in the marathon of recordings I did, I forgot to finalize and export this file in which we fought Natalie. So, I think this is the first time in Epic Battle Fantasy 4 that we're doing post-commentary. And in the future we'll be doing no commentaries, especially when we're fighting repeat battles. But here's a setup for Dark Natalie. We're focusing mainly on ice, fire, and darkness. We're doing our best anyway. Lance, as usual, is the tank of the group. He has the complete resistances. He's got all of them. He's got the whole shebang. In this battle, we're going to try and neglect Natalie because, like with Dark Matt, she had, well, opposite of Dark Matt, she has high magic defense but low normal defense, which means we're going to just hit her in the face a bunch of times and hopefully she'll die. She also has the ability to cause instant death with some of her attacks. She also has the ability to berserk herself and use extremely insane physical attacks. But we'll go more into that later once I'm done making you look at all these things. She's weak to wind, by the way, so try and see if you can take advantage of that. She's weak to wind and light. Of course, you're not going to be able to cover all of it, but hey, oh well. Dark Natalie will be accompanied by a red crystal and a blue crystal, and her chest is clickable. Yeah, and it counts towards the metal too. So there we go. Anyway, that's what she looks like during her Goth Phase, apparently. I like how Dark Natalie's hairstyle is different than Natalie's hairstyle with the bobble. If you notice, the Dark Natalie is using a new weapon, like Matt was with the Drill Lance. So of course, I've already known about the Drill Lance before. It was a free item you could get in the premium pack before all this expansion stuff was there. So we're going to try and do our best. Dark Natalie does a lot of elemental attacks. What this means, as opposed to when you're fighting Matt, is that all of her attacks will be purely elemental. They won't be part physical like Matt, so resistance is much more important than before. We're going to start the battle off here with Natalie because I want Natalie to cast Barrier during the first turn, and then we'll switch over to Lance. In this fight, I try my best to see if I can take advantage of the weakness while at the same time trying to keep up with the defenses. Of course, there are better and more solid builds to do this with. You could do things like you could give Anna the Crystal Bow, and that'll work. Matt doesn't have that much of a defense against her. In fact, the dudes have really low defenses against all the elements as well as darkness. Although that's not exactly true. We have the Cursed Armor, but I tried to stay away from the Cursed Armor, to be honest. The Cursed Armor does provide a bit of a problem. Still, though, it might be worth trying them. It might be worth trying those. It might be worth giving Lance the Ultra Zapper or the Accelerator to get that bonus, and just give him the Nazi uniform so he can be completely immune to the dark, and give Matt the Golden Armor. You can do that instead. We tried to snipe a crystal here because we're going to try and we're going to try and keep them under control for a while until we can set ourselves up and then completely take them over. As you can see here, Anna is taking a lot of damage because she doesn't have a lot of dark resistance. She has a lot of other things. She has a lot of other resistances, but the problem here is that she has so many other. It's not all about darkness in these battles, which is an interesting. Oh god. An interesting post that, see look, that we were completely immune to that. There was an interesting post a long time ago when Matt actually wanted to show off these dark players. He said his plans were to give them all dark looking weapons, but at the same time, they didn't actually do anything dark. He wanted to make a battle that really encompassed the entire player as a whole, and then the outfits they were wearing were just kind of guidelines. Here we're going to try and take advantage of the soul arrow, I think. Do it. Use the soul arrow. Or maybe not. I hardly ever get to use the soul arrow in this game, mostly because I never get a chance to have Anna do it, or I forget about it. Mostly because I forget about it, because I'm just so focused on dispelling the target that I never get a chance to copy them. The team, unsurprisingly, is actually very weak when it comes to using wind attacks. Matt only has his half physical attacks with his Razorback or Silver Blade and the Power Metal every now and then. Anna only has Whirlwind, which is magic, and Lance only has his Shockwave, which I gave to him, which is a special. And besides that, I only have a physical attack. So it kind of sucks that we have to fight Dark Natalie like this, because most of our attacks will only get about a 25% increase in damage because the attacks will be half physical, half wind. It sucks, but it's better than nothing. Like I said, you don't have to follow what I'm doing exactly. In fact, it might be better for you guys to go for a completely resistant build instead of one that does a little bit of everything and goes for damage, because of the nature of Dark Natalie and her attacks being fully elemental. At the same time, though, it's wise to look out for, It's wise to look out for the crystals, because they can do a saw blade attack which is physical. It's both elemental and physical. Having elemental resistance to them is helpful, but at the same time, you won't be able to completely resist it. They might chop you up. Having said that, I feel like I should have redone this battle, because I realized later that, oh, that's right, I probably should have done it this way. I probably should have done it with better resistances. And another thing I wanted to address is that in these battles, they take a very long time, and so do the future ones. They don't take as long if you go through the game 2 or 3 times and get the levels and get all the stat boosting items and things like that. It's... Oh, there's the Berserk, hold on. So when she gets Berserk like that, she'll start using her Scythe as a weapon, and it actually does a lot of damage. So what you want to do is you want to hit her with an Ice or a Water attack to make it so that she doesn't do that again. Like Ice Storm in this case. I did Ice Storm because the red crystals are weak to it. You don't want her to you don't want her in Berserk. It's not worth it. Here I did Cloud Burst because I wanted to reduce the damage that these fire crystals did to me, because I'm really focused on dispelling Dark Natalie. Fun fact, that casting pose Dark Natalie does is actually just a modified version of Natalie changing her equipment. Besides that, I really have nothing else to say. The entire battle, the normal audio really was just a slew of reactions and, just talking about the battle in general. But right now, there's not much else to say. It's really wise to get things like Weaken on Natalie, or Tired, or Curse. Mostly Weaken because you want to lower her magic attack. You can do Flare to make it so that she doesn't hit you as often. Although magic seems to have higher accuracy than other things, like strikes. I would definitely recommend trying to weaken her, like using the Weaken ability so that her magic gets lowered. And she doesn't have high evasion. She actually has the lowest health of all the dark players, which is why I wanted to see if I can gun her down with weapon effectiveness. It worked fine. This is one of the shorter battles. Like this one of the it was a very short battle, this battle, so I can't say it was a failure. Last thing I'll say is her limit break. She does a random one of 3. We only got to see one of them, I believe, or 1 or 2 of them in this battle. We didn't get to see all of them. She does Black Hole, Absolute Zero, and Supernova. And I think she only does Supernova during this fight, which is a little disappointing, but also kind of good because we completely resist Supernova. Yeah, there's Supernova right there. This is actually the first time you see Supernova in the Let's Play because I haven't used it yet. I use it later, but right now it's the first time you see it. And as you can see, it's not completely fired. It got through their resistances. Another thing you want to try and do is definitely give somebody that Phoenix helmet, because I did do Soul Arrow in this battle. Well, what do you know? Definitely try and do that. Give someone the Phoenix. Give Matt the Phoenix helmet, because morale is actually very useful in a lot of these fights. If you haven't noticed, a lot of the enemies in this battle and in this marathon do a lot of single hit attacks. The only exception being, I believe, Lance, when he does double shot every now and then, but that's it. So I guess that's about it. I'm not gonna work on that work on your ears any longer. I'm just gonna let you watch the rest of the battle by yourself. I'm sure you'll get it. If you have a question, feel free to ask in the comments. It's always okay to ask questions, and I'll see you guys next time.